one time I read this letter, and it was from King George III, and he signed it, and he was writing it to one of these townspeople, and he was a king, and he signed it at the bottom, "Your humble servant, King George III." And I thought about that. Why would you sign it, "Your humble servant, King George III"? You're a king. You have a castle. You have an army. You have a bunch of riches. You know what I mean? You're a king. Why would you sign it, "Your humble servant"? But if you think about that deeply, the greatest leaders of the planet that ever gone down as great, the greatest kings, the greatest queens, the greatest presidents, the great leaders, they all have one thing in common. They put the welfare of the people ahead of their own. They serve the people. They're servants. You know, serving people is everything. It's all about service. A leader that serves himself, by himself, for himself, and trips on his own shit all day long is a tyrant. It's not about what I can do for you, it's about what you can do for fucking me. That's a tyrant. You know, if service is beneath you, leadership is way beyond you. It's all about service. You know, I'm a servant. If I told my cellie before I got out of prison, and I said, "Hey bro, check this out. When I get out of prison, I'm gonna be a fucking servant." Yeah, I'm gonna be a servant. You know what I mean? No, fucking horrible. I'm a servant today. Serve. If you're useful to people, you build self-esteem, self-worth. You build fucking all this confidence. If you're useless to people, you're useless, worthless. The secret to life is adding value wherever you go. You know, at your jobs, adding value to your job, serving that company, serving people. You know, I know a lot of us like to sit and trip on our own self all day. I get guilty of that too, tripping on what do I need to do, what do I want, what I. But it says in the book that nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking or getting loaded again as one-on-one work with another alcoholic. You know, they talk about this staying in the center of the pack. You guys hear that all the time, right? Staying in the center of the pack. Because you stay in the center of the pack because the people out on the outskirts are going to get picked off by the disease. The disease is coming, and whoever's on the fringes is going to get picked off. How do you stay in the center of the pack? You communicate with the pack. You get each other's phone numbers. You tell each other to have a fucking great day. You communicate with the pack. You call people. You say, "Hey, you know what? Hey, this is Danny. How's it going today? This is me." And you say, "What are you doing tonight? You go to a meeting tonight?" And you communicate with the pack. I see people all the time. They don't get phone numbers. They don't call anybody. And they sit and trip on their own shit all day. And that's the definition of selfishness. We can't be selfish. We're here to serve. The more that you serve, the more that you add value, the more valuable you become. The less you serve, the more useless you become. We have to see each other and help each other. It's super important because isolation is the worst counselor ever.